Welcome back to the Divine Masculine Update. We're getting straight into the read. And yes, this portal, especially post-eclipse, is quite pivotal for these individuals. And for a lot of you, especially on your twin flame path, the whole notion of men from Mars and women from Venus, is that whole polarity coming up at the moment. And I think, especially post-eclipse, it is perfectly normal what I'm seeing here. And because we do have the Mars energy at the moment, which is really causing some issues for Divine Masculine, but not necessarily. I think these are deep revelations. I feel within their life, especially, I've been seeing so many insects, especially leading up to October. I was really seeing a lot of dragonflies. I was seeing a lot of bugs and birds. And it is to do with this transition moving into next year's astrology. I do see with the dragonfly, especially we can look at kind of the tools we have in life where we can change direction and pivot. And I think with retrogrades, how we can find this, especially from a spiritual point of view within Divine Masculine's energy, is that not quite sure, which way to go about this. And again, with retrogrades, what is it doing? It's actually helping us reflect upon our direction in life, reflect upon what has and hasn't worked, plus with the notion of new energy coming in. So I do feel at the moment with Divine Masculine, the dragonfly energy is bringing about an awareness of self-control, of connections, of the truth of where their happiness is, and where they might be giving their power away, because definitely we do have Mars transiting between two zodiac signs, which is going to be between the house of Cancer and between the house of Leo. So this card in the upright, which is something they're directly working on at this point in time, and I'm noticing a lot of blue and a lot of green, so it is to do with healing of the heart chakra. It is very Venusian in nature and a lot to do with the Chiron energy and Mercury. Having confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connections to spirit. We can go into sort of dark night of the soul energy when we're questioning this position. And we do get into a space where we're wondering, hey, how do I actually liberate myself out of this situation so that I can get the better out of it? So I do see Divine Masculine at the moment really confused and perplexed, but knowing what they want, but not necessarily knowing how to go about it. Now, as we are moving towards the next lunation, it is going to be in the house of Aries, and this is all Mars energy. We also can find with the energy of Mercury, I do think there's a lot of purgatory energy. I do think that we are going to have a dynamic, especially moving into the mid-month energy, of wanting to proceed forward. But currently, we still do have some testing situations really happening around that Mars frequency. Now, I'm also seeing from their cards, as we move into the overview, we are going to the past position. Now, this is to do with choices. This could be impacting their life. It could be, where they're giving their power away. Feeling blocked and restrained. This is almost something that they need to address and they're having to put to bed. But they're like, okay, how directly can I do this? And the shadow sign of Libra is Aries, and it's you versus other people. It's where do I start, and where do other people kind of begin or end? And so it's this catch-22 situation, sort of like walking on a tightrope to make everyone happy. And again, I did say October is really a karmic close. So for some that are in karmic relationships, this is a big question coming up. This is D-Day. This is something that isn't going to go away. It's not going to be quiet, so to speak, especially because it was a South Node eclipse. And we can see a lot of complexity coming through in their reading, which is really heightening these dynamics, especially within karmic relationships. Now, this can be a soul contract in a career. It could be a soul contract within an intimate relationship, or it could be a spiritual blockage of where patterns directly have been the issue. The shadow sign, again, I'll mention, is Aries. which can be heightening these frustrations and really swinging like a pendulum, that they're directly feeling they have to make a physical choice because it's spiritually impacting them. They may have given their power away for some, but again, like I said, it's just not going to go away, and it is something that is going to directly need to be addressed. Yeah, I think something that they put to bed, we have the curious dream, such a curious dream. And it's a 9 energy. It drops down to a 9 energy, which again can be Mars. It's very Jupiter in nature. It's very fiery. It's in reverse. And I think something again in the heart of it, they put a dream to bed and they're like, well, what's the purpose of living if we don't have a dream or a goal or a direction? So this is a big question mark hanging over their head. And, maybe where they had excuses before and it was like, I've got a job, I need to pay my bills. It could be some pivotal situation really twisting and turning with, and it could be a karmic relationship. However this is playing out, it is aiding them because what it's doing is saying, no, this isn't going away. You do need to actually have your needs fulfilled. No, the world's not perfect, but yeah, we need to bring this back to the table. So I really think Divine Masculine is reconsidering, why do I have to put everything on hold for everyone else? Why can't I have the things I truly desire and have my choices being in alignment with my desires? Because I feel as though they know that they do want Divine Feminine, but potentially some circumstances surrounding them have been actually hindering that and taking them away from themselves. And a lot of times within our journey, we can accidentally project, even if we don't know we're doing it. And I feel if there's been this mentorship happening within the union, between the connection, it is a union. It's just, do both energies get to a union state where they're in harmony and authenticity so that they can merge together without that projection energy going on. And I feel Divine Masculine is really researching their Akashic records, their memories, the things that you said to them, and really going into a spiritual review of their life and where they are and aren't in alignment. This has been coming up since the beginning of the month. They're actually looking at it and they're thinking, God, am I going to just keep doing this? Is this going to just keep coming up till, we move into the next month? They could be pushing something out, but again, they feel it needs to be addressed in the here and now. Some of them are going to need to take a spiritual break. This can be getting connected to nature, getting connected to maybe a break. But again, it's almost like they're seeing signs and synchronicity. So this can be coming out. They could be seeing bees. They could be seeing dragonflies. It's almost like the environment itself is speaking to them, whatever that environment is. Some are actually considering living in it. It almost could be they're taking a note out of Divine Feminine's book and they're looking at the way their life is going and they're feeling as though this isn't the way the world's supposed to be. This isn't how I'm supposed to be living. I feel some communication is going to come through, but I also feel their guides are aiding them by giving them signs and synchronicities relating to their current environment. As we look to these choices, I feel, it's taking them back to, yes, you do have a choice. Don't give your power away. Now, as we're looking at the bottom right, we do see the Phoenix rising. However, it's in reverse. And again, sometimes when we decide that we're going to go in a particular direction, first we must descend before we can ascend. So it can be some shadow work. It can be realizing where we currently stand and where we have to dig ourselves out of. This also can be where they can have revelations about how much strength they're going to need to be able to achieve a circumstance. This can be poor self-talk as well. There could be a lot of motivation that they're actually having. But again, I don't know why I'm hearing the term diabolical. Diabolical in a sense of, oh my gosh, this is a lot to claim, this is a lot to do, this is a lot to achieve. And so their emotions feel diabolical. Their emotions feel like everything's out of sync. There is a lot of anxiousness and fear. Some of them are really wishing that doors would just naturally open. Um, they have been, from a spiritual point of view, very much in the flow vibration. And I feel these transits are actually helping them get back to that. It's almost like they're quite detached. They believe everything happens for a reason. But they also are coming to a belief system that they have more power than they think. And that there is a combination here that we're needing to use. Not only are we to have faith in situations and to allow life, you know, there could be a flood and you're asking Gaia, source, to give you, a hand, and they send somebody on a raft and you say, no, Gaia's coming to help me. The way in which it turns up is not necessarily just as as we would perceive it to be. So I feel Divine Masculine is trying to get the right measurements, the right formula. But what they're coming to a revelation and understanding about is, yes, being in the flow is absolutely necessary, and some things naturally need to happen. But at other times, the belief alone is not enough. The chariot directly is what is required, and that is the physical movement and actions. So we're going to pull clarify, because I feel there's a karmic lesson involved in this week's energy, but it is going to be, be it we. And this can be where a tower moment can come. I do feel they do need to be very careful driving, very careful with their home and environments, very careful with their major choices. But I do feel an action needs to be taken. This especially can link to the karmic third party energies with outcome. And I don't know why. I think this is a lesson, but I think it's almost like those questions they had in their mind to do with, do I act? Am I cursed, or is this part of my own hand? How do I address my relationship, both with my past energies, my true calling and destiny of who I want to be and whom I want to be with, and how I feel towards my future? Okay, what is this belief they need to? They're having a revelation. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this belief card prior to the chariot. And, as we look at this belief card, she's looking up in the sky and her crown's a bit off kilter. So this is their inner feminine energy, inner perception of the future. What's not working? What's not working is just using faith alone. It is direct action. So universe gives us the PDF. It gives us the downloads and, the signs and synchronicities. And then we need to react. And this is the chariot in reverse can be bad luck, but it is towards, you could be saying, hey, I want to live a karmic relationship, but you stay for 10 years. At some point in time, a tower moment is going to occur, because naturally, you spiritually, intellectually are disconnecting. So, naturally, your environment directly is going to change, even if you wanted to be a good person and a kind person. So whatever this is in relationship to, it feels if the power is given away, there is a lesson, but something is ending well and truly before they anticipate. For some, it could be that there have been excuses. This could be could be to do with religious beliefs. It could be to do with an unwell individual. It could be to do with financial situations. But they are saying that this is coming up for a change, be it they directly want it or not. And this is actually they can either take their power or it can happen to them. But I do feel something that is really nagging them at the moment is, if I keep proceeding this way, I'm going to co-create nothing but bad luck. We will check in with this energy next week. If you do want a private reading, you can go to the link below, or if you want these pre-released ad-free, you can join a YouTube membership where we coach, give you the transits, and cover your astrology.